Hi everybody, this hack is from Rohit, Pratik and Amit. The hack aims in utilizing the existing Protractor test framework for cross-platform test execution. The problem statement out here is, as in when we started off building SendPro as an application, so far we built multiple frameworks and developed them for UI test automation. So we started off with Ruby Selenium WebDriver framework. As in when we encountered issues, ours being an AngularJS app, we adopted Protractor and TypeScript framework. We found it to be a very stable framework with less execution time, and we adopted it. But later on, as and when we built application in different platforms, like we built the Shell app, we lack the capability to use the same framework. That's a Protractor framework for these platforms and native devices like CSD to automate these apps. So the frameworks, overall, all these frameworks lack capability for cross-platform test execution and responsive testing. So we, for example, for Shell app, we built a Java-based framework that used TestNG and Selenium WebDriver. So ultimately what we did is we added to the cost, we added to resources, time in terms of development, execution, maintenance, and deployment. The solution that we came up with, we enhanced the Protractor framework to test our Shell app and overall test SendPro in different platforms like the Android and OS X, and also enhance this Protractor framework to also add to capabilities to add native apps for CSD devices. So overall, to summarize, Protractor framework can be made capable for responsive app testing. So this overall requires minimal changes. This will ultimately lead in savings in terms of development time, cost, the execution, deployment, and maintenance. So here are a few snippets of the code. So these are minimal changes. We had to just incorporate a new Protractor conf files for each of the platforms. For example, if we need to run it on Shell, so it is just the Shell conf. So we for the Shell app, we just have to give the path to the binary of the Shell app. We evaluated Android platform. For Android, we need to incorporate capabilities for the Android conf. So overall, we set up APM for the Protractor framework, and we simulated virtual devices. For example, we simulated Android 6.x for an SDK version 24, and then we set up the emulators. So basically what we do is we give, as we execute the normal Protractor test, here we just specify the npm run test shell, and once we execute it from the terminal, based on the Protractor shelf conf where we have given the path to the binary, it will invoke the binary and start the WebDriver session for the Shell app. So here we see that the Shell app is opened and a WebDriver instance is created for same. So the user should log in. So we basically are demoing a address book test. So the user has logged in and it should navigate to the address book. Once the user has navigated to address book, it will add a new address. The address details entered, the user saves the address, and here we validate that the address is added successfully, and we see that the test has passed. Execution in Android device. So as I mentioned, we already have simulated, we have set up APM, and then we have simulated a virtual device for Android 6.x with an SDK version of 24. We have the setup. Now we execute. So based on the Android conf.js, we have given the capabilities. We have given the Selenium address, which is the WebDriver port and the URL to the WebDriver, Selenium WebDriver on the device. So similarly, we give the script name test Android. We execute it from the terminal. Once the Selenium WebDriver instance is initialized, we will see it in the Android emulator, that it will open the Chrome browser. So we have the Chrome browser access, and this Android device SendPro web application will be launched. And so as mentioned earlier, we might have to make minor changes to utilize the locators based on the device. So as shown, we had to for address book, we had to click the toggle bar instead of the address book menu. So here the toggle bar, it clicks the add contact. So once add contact is loaded, the automation will add a new address. So each of the fields are successfully entered right from the name, street, city, and state, the zip code. And now once the email and phone is entered, it should save the address to the address book. Navigate and validate the address is added successfully in the address book. After the validation, we get the default Protractor report with the test pass. So that's the end of the demo.